Hello. So, more toys. You know, I'm a keen mass drop user.
How long ago did you?
Oh, his mic is not on.
How long ago did you order that?
I ordered this months ago.
Yeah.
I will tell you when. It was ages ago. This was one of the longer ones on mass drop.
Does it feel
this-
like you're finding like $20 under your bed when you get something from Mass Drop?
This is yeah, maybe, yeah. I mean, this one was I had to be very patient for. So I got the Sennheiser 6XX.
I got those too. But I
Really?
stopped using them. I tried using them for CSGO. They're just not that great for it.
But are you using them with an amp or just like
I have a
plugging
sound
it?
card.
Yeah, you need to use an
you
amp for
should
them.
use a
Really?
good amp.
Yeah,
you
that's
should
why I
use a
bought
good
this.
amp.
Yeah. You got to use a proper amp. So I got a tube amp. I don't know what that actually means, but it sounds cool. So I was like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, tube amps are what you should use for the AC600, 650s.
Look at this.
How much was this?
I'll tell you in a second. I can't remember.
I like how this looks. Just the
Let me get the
aesthetic.
bulb in there. Let me get the bulb in there. Ah, okay. Where's the gap? The gap is here. So
Let's break it on stream.
I'm scared. Okay, hold on. This is clean. By the way, we have Counter-Strike coming up, but I mean, this is more than programming of matches, guys. This is a show, damn it.
I'm actually
Mainly
jealous.
of what I burn my money on. I should just set fire to my money at this point, to be honest. I can't do this.
I feel like you're gonna break this.
Of course I am. This is what I do. I break
It took you
things.
6 months to get it, so it's like the price of it plus 6 months.
Yeah.
That's how unhappy you'll be.
Oh my god. All right, say something interesting while I do this.
One time I broke 3 motherboards trying to
Should I read the instructions?
trying to install a new processor because they were AMD for the first time, and I didn't realize I didn't understand the pins bend
Did you
so
try to force
easily.
it in?
They bend really easily on the motherboard, and if they bend even slightly, like slightly to the point that you can turn your motherboard and see how the light reflects off them. If any of the pins don't reflect the light because they're slightly off, then the motherboard whole thing won't turn on.
Wow.
No power.
I got you all beat. One time I sent a ridiculous amount of Ethereum to the wrong address.
No way.
Never before to be seen again. Yes.
How much?
I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
A lot.
Oh my god. I almost did that.
No, you know what happened was, you know how if you
I was sending from my ledger to like Coinbase, and I thought I sent it to how Coinbase changed the address every time. So I thought I sent it to the wrong address. And
that doesn't matter though. Even if you send it to a backwards address that you've used before, it would still.
no,
would
but I
still
thought
go
it
in.
was because it wasn't the last one. I didn't realize they changed every time, so I thought I just sent it somewhere else. My
Yeah.
heart fucking sank.
I bought this in August, the amp, and it cost me $270. And I received
What
it.
amp is it?
Huh?
What amp is it?
Uh,
Cavalli tube amp.
Yeah, it's. Let me read the info. Alex Cavalli. Hybrid amp from a top tier designer. Blah blah blah. Vacuum tube, 6922 vacuum tube, and other things. But we're going live into the Counter-Strike now, so we can come back to tubes. If there's any, if any of you are audiophiles and actually interested, then send us a tweet, and I'll actually, we can go into it in more detail. But if we don't get any tweets, then obviously no one cares, and we won't bother. But I have all kinds of crazy bits and bobs coming in the next few weeks. I have a keyboard hopefully coming next week, and then another one in April. The one in April has magnetic switches. None of this Cherry MX stuff. They're
You should
magnetic.
do like a fan mail roundup, except it's just stuff you bought.
Yeah, could do that. 2P2. Okay, no, I'm reading this completely wrong. Never mind. Config. This is the Optic Gaming side, the partly European, partly American team of Optic Gaming, and that's a successful pistol run. Pretty straightforward. That's the most straightforward pistol run I've seen in a while. Go into A, get shot in the face, game over.
How do you feel about ARAM takes on? How do you feel about majority ARAM, like anti-con?
I mean, I think it's fine. I think, especially on pistol, if you just push something, whether it's CT or jungle or whatever, and I think it's definitely very viable. I think the really good players, you're going up against like Fallen or like Gold Zero or whatever, Gold Zero rotating the cat, just waiting for you to like over-aggress towards the window, he's going to kill you, But I do think it's good.
Okay, how about this? I have a pistol round.
It's tough to stop, you know? Like, you just have 3 guys jumping at you through a smoke. It's just...
I just feel like there's so many ways to die.
I have a pistol round on Mirage. I go top mid with P250 and a flash and a smoke, and 2 people go underpass, and 1 person goes a ramp with the bomb, or like just like up on the balcony but around the corner, so if somebody pushes in, not showing. And I smoke connector like in the site, and I pop flash my guys into connector, and then they burst through into A. Just run through the smoke with the guy moving up through the ramp eventually, and I'll try and cut off any flankers.
So they go
in
from
top
underpass?
mid. They go from underpass into connector, yeah.
And you
just
have to
run
get behind the back box, or the back mid box.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Like
with a P250 smoke and a flash and Bardoff's skill set.
you haven't played with me ever, have you? You've never played with me.
You had to throw that in.
No, I mean,
You need to play with me, and then you can talk.
I mean, honestly, like if you, it's tough to get back mid if you're playing against a good player that's window and he sees your solo, like he's gonna fight you. You know.
Well, you can molly flash from. You can do everything from without peek and window.
You could smoke top connector from without peeking window.
Oh, top connector.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
saying to
I thought you
smoke
said
top
top
connector
connector,
next to the
okay.
stairs and then flash into connector.
I mean,
and they rush through.
the smoke isn't really the most
But yeah,
important
the
thing.
smoke could come from a ramp
Yeah, you could just smoke jungle instead,
Yeah.
to be honest.
or that.
Yeah, you can put top connector.
I'm really failing to put these things in. Oh, okay, we have a war of attrition here, but it is being won by the invisible gun of Shazam.
That's actually wicked. I like this.
Ghosty V-Bucks, baby.
It's like a pickle jar, man. I hella want to, I want to try it. You ever see that Curb Your Enthusiasm episode?
I still haven't watched a single episode of Curb Your
Oh my God,
Enthusiasm.
it's so
Such a
funny.
good show.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Pickle jar. What season? I just.
It's like the
started
newest
rewatching.
season.
Oh no, I've only watched like 4 episodes of the new season.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Where they everyone wants to try.
Yeah,
to open it.
everyone.
Yeah.
I want to try to put that thing.
Yeah. He uses it as like a distraction. Like.
Yeah, he's. Yeah.
For those of you who can't
Runs.
see, I'm still trying to put the friggin' bulb tube thing.
It looks pretty standard, like the way the pins go.
It does, but it
I'm
just
really
doesn't-
scared for you right now. Like I
it
feel
just
like you're
doesn't
either
go
gonna
inside.
crush it or you're gonna bend a pin.
This is made in Russia.
So it's, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Have you guys seen much of Optic Gaming yet? This
No,
Optic Gaming?
this is actually my first time.
Same.
Launders?
Both. I haven't seen either of these two lineups play.
Me three. Shazam and Cajun B. Cajun B's back on the sniper. He said to me that he was looking forward to rifling again, but it might be because it's this map. He is on short. You can play double sniper on Mirage. And now with that pick, he instantly moves towards B with the AWP, and Stanislaw goes towards short instead. I think he's in an aggressive position as well. Can we quickly see Cajun B spot? Yes, he is. Oh! That is brutal timing. Stanislaw gets taken down on the short position in the meantime, and he is in a lot of trouble, Cajun B. Came under fire a lot on his previous team, and he lost his confidence because of that. And it's not an easy thing to have loads of people tweeting you abuses. Pretty much all players get.
Yeah.
And kind of manage that when the times are bad, you know?
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like it was kind of his style that wasn't conducive with what works as operas, or what most successful operas have. And that's just like I feel like the only operas that have really survived have been really aggressive for the most part.
Yeah, I agree. I think Skadoodle is an outlier there.
That's true. He does. I don't know. I think Skadoodle's explosive. Maybe not aggressive. But
It's in.
I thought you broke it, dude.
I don't know if I should just keep
Looks like a nipple.
applying pressure to it. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it on the table now so you guys can see it when we come back to camera. Nice. But now I'm going to have to take it out and then one day put it back in again.
It's like a little Taj Mahal.
So, NRG get their first round on the board.
Like press it and it rings.
Yeah, the bell.
Circus.
Yeah, that's the one.
When you highest.
Are you guys finished? Come on, focus.
You're the one distracting us with all your gadgets.
That's also true.
Inspector
Inspector
Bardoff.
Inspector Bardov. Oh, God.
Let's see what
So-
they do.
Mirage is a map where it's okay to leave somebody in T-spawn. I mean the bomb in T-spawn.
Yeah, I mean just not like right on the.
Because you can rotate later on, depending on where your players are. 3 players towards A, though, for NRG. That pretty much tells you it's going to be A. Even when there are 2 players at the beginning, it's almost always an A play. Very, well, not very late, but late smoke towards top mid. Late aggression from NRG. But Optic have abandoned. It seems they might have an idea as to what's going on, because they're going to leave Cage and B to... No, never mind, he's rotating as well, so they're pretty much all going towards A. Shazam still has invisible gun, which was a thing in Quake if you wanted it to be, but not quite in Counter-Strike. 4 on 3 now, and it seems NRG have been quite telegraphed in their play here. Basically, from throwing a late smoke mid, seems Optic have realised it's going to be an A play. That's and Cirque remain. Cirque, really good sniper player. And now Cirque is alone. Bomb is collected, 25 seconds. He's got to take one of these players down, but they might wait for the beat. Does the best he can, but he was in a pretty bad situation. AWP collected by Stanislaw, and the round is 1 for Liquid.
They were like ridiculously lucky that they even got that many kills.
I agree.
I mean, they had a guy CT spawn, jungle, and under balcony, all covering for the connector run through.
Literally just for walkouts.
It's a triple crossfire. Like, I don't know how you can even get 1 kill there.
So, obviously, because NRG doesn't do anything in the round, they waited. You know, they didn't do anything. All they did was throw top mid smoke, and then they just went right for A split. So they were just kind of hoping that it wouldn't be a stack towards A. That smoke didn't come out soon enough.
It's a pretty basic stack.
Yikes.
Big push, rather. So they're trying to make their way. Oh! Really trying to bait the shot from Cage and B. Not working out for them, though. Cirque on the flank. Cage and B probably looked towards default when that molly went down, but I don't think it was deep enough to the right-hand side. Or maybe Fugly escaped regardless. And there's Cirque from the back, and Gade can't reposition in time. Now Cage and B's got to charge forward. Neither not expecting that position. And now, how does he avoid the 1 versus 2? Cirque, that's one way to do it.
I thought Cirque was going to die on the second kill. This is really nice. This instant headshot. Oh, it's beautiful.
Boom. Man like Cirque, he's very young.
Yeah.
He is very young. He's a young'un.
He's incredibly good. And he has amazing movement.
Definitely one to watch.
He's not scared of anybody, like, ever.
This life is all he knows.
Do you think that's something players have to learn, or that some players can or can't learn or have? Like, just the ability to just play like themselves no matter what?
I think pretty much everyone learns that, because on LAN, like, nobody's as good on LAN, you know what I'm saying, like the very first time or the very first few, like, it takes a few times, I believe. It's really rare. But if you have the right mindset,
Oh
it
boy.
shouldn't necessarily be that, but...
Man like Breeze.
Wow.
Been doing nice stuff in FPL this week as well. Had some nice highlights. But will this be another one? Config alone with the Deagle. There, down he goes.
I mean, if you, like, I don't know, like, I'm like a huge Michael Jordan fan, right? Or like Kobe Bryant, and they all, I mean, most professional athletes say like the same thing. They're like, look, I have no reason to not go out and perform well, because I practiced this 1,000 times, and I'm practicing the exact same way I'm going to do it, whether I'm in the NBA Finals in the 4th quarter, or I'm in a preseason game. You know, it doesn't matter. Like, so I should have no fear, no nerves, no nothing. But at the same time, I mean, you're going to have it the first, like, LAN or so.
Yeah.
Ding dong. Off to a good start. NRG just lets go 8. And it's proven difficult to a degree. Shazam can't quite get the follow-up to the dink there. Config very patient with the P2000, but he will not be rewarded in kind.
Fairly clean anti-ecos. Rifle setup. Last round they had the op on Cage and B at B. This time, I'm kind of curious. What's Shazam spawn? Oh, we can go. You can go window, but I guess it just depends. I don't know. Would you take it window? Because
Jump cat.
jump cat.
Every time I have this spawn, I jump cat.
Okay. Yeah.
Every single time.
Because then you can at least see over the top mid smoke.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's different in Team CS, right? But I literally will jump cat every time I have this. And if you fail it, you just go bottom connector anyways. You know? I actually, because I switched back to 1024 black bars, and like I got the jump like probably like 90%, I would say, on like 1280, 960 stretch. But when I went back to 1024, it took me a while to like relearn it. You know? It took me like probably like 10 minutes of doing it before I could do it consistently on 1024.
Mouse wheel up.
No, mouse wheel down,
Yeah,
Bartol.
down.
Mouse wheel down.
That's what we'll
I
do.
use spacebar, baby.
What?
Yeah, man. I'm old school and hardcore.
That's not old school at all.
It is, man. I'm beautiful.
It's a noob school.
New school. Spacebar, dude. What?
What res do you use?
Yeah,
What res?
man.
Native.
Native?
Yeah.
So what does mouse wheel
It's
up
all
do then?
about the
Weapon
1024.
cycle.
No, I don't use it at all.
Yeah, I don't use mouse wheel up either.
I wouldn't use that for weapon cycle.
Yeah, because you'd accidentally hit it when you're bunny hopping.
Yeah. And also, mouse wheel down because you get more scrolls.
You know what? I should just force myself to.
Just unbind it. Yeah, just unbind space.
It wouldn't take long to get used
No,
to.
it doesn't.
That's what I did with grenades. If I press 4, it only does HE grenade. It doesn't cycle.
Yeah, I should do that too.
I do this
to
So
be
I
honest.
had to do that to learn my individual.
I mean, you just called me a noob for cycling through my nades, Bordolph.
I think I did actually.
Both of you did. So,
You are a noob, Dave.
You call me
Cycling
just
through
playing on
grenades.
native. We all have something.
nah, native's not noob. Every res in CS:GO is good.
Could have been so much
That's a
towards
nice
short.
shot.
Nice 2-tap from Daps.
I like to say I play the game on hard mode. So respect me.
Cajun B and Stanislaw remain. Bomb planted. You're a native as well.
Yeah.
Ah.
I don't. Yeah. I don't see any reason not to use it. But yeah.
Cajun B and Stanislaw creeping around. Stanislaw will not have an advantage here. The Flash will attempt something, but he will be punished, slaughtered. And that will be the round.
They're doing these really light splits that are actually quite effective. I mean, the one round didn't work. This time they sped it up a little bit.
I feel like I would be a better sniper at a lower res because there's less to focus on and bigger targets.
How important, like Lunders, do you think the like for instance on SK, like Fallen may be the in-game leader, and he'll probably call a majority of the time, especially like out of rounds. But I think it's even more important, like the mid-round calls and things like that. And people give way too much credit to someone just being like an in-game leader. You know what I'm saying? So like for instance on Liquid, it's the same thing. Like Nitro may be the in-game leader, but Elige does probably majority of the mid-round. You know?
I think Cold Zero does a lot of mid-round for.
Oh, Cold Zero does a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always have
really
a
knows
teammate
how
who
to win
has
round.
like you always have a teammate if you're calling who has like really good input,
Mhm.
and they will help you a lot, especially if you're not with everyone. Or it's just important. I feel like you have to have two.
I think
absolutely.
Gambit
Two
had a Dren
voices.
when Zeus was on the team at the major.
Yeah.
A Dren was the mid-round caller.
I think 2 or 3.
So yeah, I think the thing with Fallen is that he's got the great plan right out the gate, which is the heavy lifting. A lot of times, mid-rounders are just guys who have a good feel for the game.
The set's falling apart.
It's okay.
It's that dodgy duct tape, man.
But the other thing is that he's also like straight up amazing at opping too.
Yeah, he has the most unique op playstyle in my opinion.
I think it's the best.
He's just so like.
You know, he's like the way I describe it is like you go to peek an angle and Fallen will be 30 degrees out already. You know, like.
Or he'll show you his shoulder 45 times.
Yeah.
And like be jumping around and showing his op barrel and like just be. It looks like the most crazy, chaotic situations, but he's so in control. It's pretty nuts. How old is Fallen, by the way?
I think it's 26, 27.
I mean, he's definitely like. I mean, I don't want to say old, but you know what I'm saying, like one of the more experienced older players, and he's still like just so quick.
Yeah. I don't really.
Yeah, I don't think age matters.
I have
really.
not noticed my reaction time change at
No,
all.
I haven't either.
I could still like.
It's just
the
a
way
matter of how much I practice.
The way I measure it is just like as long as I can pick like someone crossing on dust 2. Like that's it. Like if you can hit them crossing the door, it's like why would you ever need a reaction time faster than that? Just like, you're splitting hairs, you know? It's like.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I completely agree. Then again, Kenny has his reaction times.
Yeah,
are
there's
pretty
certain
insane.
players you see them, you're like, man, was that 100? And then it's like him and Shroud have.
Ooh, inverse plant, I like it, but Cajun B says no. No buy off Molotov required on this map. And there it is, the wipe up. Quick rounds from both teams in favour of Optic. Nice. Presumably heard a footstep there.
That was sick.
And he's good to go. He's golden. Except not golden, who apparently is being kicked from Fnatic.
Teamless golden.
I know, crazy.
Hasn't
Isn't
been
that
announced yet, has
crazy?
it?
And
It
they-
really is.
Well, from the outside point of view, it's crazy,
Yes,
but
absolutely.
from the inside, you don't know.
Yeah,
again,
we
like,
really
we
don't.
just said with the in-game thing, we don't
never
know.
But how bad must it have been? You know, how?
Well, I mean, Exist is a pretty good fragger.
No, Exist is great,
He's
but
a good fragger.
But
I
that,
mean,
that wouldn't be a good
come
reason
on.
to change him.
no, I don't. I mean, Nip was just especially without threat. Nip was the most stale, predictable, like ran team just ever. You know what I mean? It was just like, it was just so obvious,
Yeah.
you know, and so basic. Especially like when it was, you know, I mean, I don't know if that's all on Exist, but he was the in-game leader, right?
Yeah.
So
But with a new group of players with their own styles, I don't
yeah,
think
no,
it's,
that's absolutely
it's
true.
not going to be a mirror
honestly,
image.
It's for me. It's not even like thinking about who is replacing him. It's like why replace him? You know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that
like
too,
you're
yeah.
you're
I
on
do
an
ask.
upward trajectory,
Exactly.
and then you make a change.
Yeah.
It's
How
really
bad?
puzzling. But I mean, like we all just said,
Who
who
would
the hell
know?
knows? Who the hell
Yeah.
knows? It's not like anybody's coming out saying things publicly, right?
Well, another smoke execute. And, oh, Gaze. That's brutal for him. Molotov to stop anybody making a play through the smoke towards the bench position, and a triple plant will come in. CTs are all over the place on this one. And 3 versus 5. Surely they go for a save here? They're not going for a save, but surely they go for a save here.
That's why I always had, whenever I played with Swag, he was always like the annoying apartment guy.
Yeah.
He's just always alive. You always have to look at him, and then he just peeks out at the perfect time.
You're like squeaky player or
Yeah.
Palace.
Trying to hold on to their weapons.
I feel like Gade has, I don't know, has he played top of default like 3 rounds in a row?
2 rounds in a row.
Default
at
is a
least.
good spot.
I think he was there last time.
The
Last round.
one thing I don't like about default is when, if they're hitting A, if I have a guy CT spawn and I'm default, like, you kind of have to tell him to watch A holes for you, because if that guy comes out A holes, he's gonna kill you almost every time.
Mm-hmm.
But then, it's like, if that guy doesn't peek, your CT spawn guy, you know, it's a
Awkward.
yeah, it could be a very awkward
Your-
situation.
You can see your gun over the default if you have the watch halls.
Mhm.
But more like not to say this to the spot's bad or anything, but just the fact that he did it so many rounds in a row.
Yeah, I
If
actually
he
think
did.
it's a great spot,
Yeah.
especially for
Yeah.
crossfiring. If they're coming up connector, and your plan is to have the guy jungle go through the smoke, because if they're coming through connector, you can peek him default, take shots, crouch, watch halls. That guy can have a moment where he can go through the smoke, you know, and maybe the guy cat swings out ladder or something, and then you all of a sudden you pretty much have a triple crossfire or like a pinch.
Stanislaw. Awkward for him. There is a blind spot in that by the trash bags in that corner, but obviously he was at the point of no return. Shazam still has invisible gun, and he's delivering some kills. That is the next level highlight. Again, that's just a Go TV bug. Oh, Daps has lost the bomb, and is Breed close?
B was just the wrong side
No, he's on short.
in this situation. I guess they didn't know. Yeah, because Gade and Config are both still alive, but they had to over-rotate to B. So I guess it was just a good like adjustment from Optic when they lost their first guy.
Could you hold tab, Sliggy, real quick after this round? It's fine. Okay, thank you.
Okay, okay.
He
Oh
would.
my goodness.
He would.
Oh my god!
No.
Was that burst fire? That was burst
You know,
fire.
I think like Optic has had, from what I've seen, better positioning on a lot of these rounds, you know, where they really have the superior positioning, but a lot of the time, like, their players aren't playing off of each other right, you know what I mean? Like, the chemistry just isn't really there with...
That's embarrassing.
I mean, I feel like they should have hit that shot, though.
No, of course, of course.
They're just all looking at him.
And that's the money gone. Wipeouts. The last time I saw a round like that was when Pasha was walking through T-Apps against, I think it was a Danish team. And there was one person in apps looking out the window towards market or somewhere. And he walked past him, shot a guy on the bench, and then shot the guy who was in window standing next to him. It was in a FACEIT match at some point.
That's like a tilting. Like, that's a super tilting round loss.
Yeah.
That takes a few rounds.
.180 from Daps, and that is, this is a buy round. I mean, that's kind of crazy. Cirque is just doing Cirque's thing.
Cirque is really good, man.
Yeah.
Just going for it. Savage, ruthless aggression, default plant from Ethan. 12
Really
HP
nice
on
kid,
him.
too.
Yeah, he's funny.
Like, I played against him in a pug, like, immediately after, like, the FPL list got announced real quick, and he was like, Dazed, I hope you get an FPL. I like playing with you. And I'm like playing against them in a pug.
That's like automatic level politeness.
Oh, it's a little off.
Automatic's just a troll.
Nice setup from the T side, working out, and Shazam is going to get one kill, but
Oh, bye.
he's got to go for the hero defuse, surely. I don't think so. I'm not
No.
convinced.
I mean, you should have stuck it. Still trust the voice.
I feel like, I don't know, what do you guys think about, like, as far as a roster longevity is concerned, you know? It's really hard to make something like Optic has work, don't you think?
I think so too, yeah.
Right?
I think
I would
as a
never be able to move to Europe or anything like that, and I just would never be able to do it, you know? Myself, at least.
Yeah.
And then you just have, like, it just seems so...
Well, I think any
I feel like you're always going to think that it's not going to work, like in the back of your head anyway. So
but I
that
think any
makes it
banded
harder.
group of players is going to have to, I mean, depending on their rate, I think they're going to be like, yeah, man, let's make this work. But I think it's going to have iterations. Parts will be good, parts will be broken, and they'll have to cycle through plays until something works. I mean,
Kind of like, yeah, that's what FaZe did.
exactly, yeah.
with Rain. I
That
mean,
was,
Rain's
that was a lot of cycles.
That's true.
So I think you'd be fortunate if you just found the right pieces immediately, but
Yeah.
you have to expect that that's
be
not
a-
going to happen.
No,
point.
you're right.
Yeah, as long as everyone's on the same page in that regard. But you know, like, everyone comes in super motivated. Just like the last Optic iteration, you know, they were literally like, we're going to be top 5 in the world.
Do they still have the coach?
I would bet.
Yeah.
I believe they do, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a really good. He's the guy that made me think like, okay, coaches are really valuable.
Yeah.
You know? And-
Absolutely, yeah.
I felt like
Coaches and analysts.
no,
would
I
say.
completely agree.
Yeah.
Like I was not. I've like literally just a year ago. I was like,
Well, I mean, he's more. I'd say.
I don't really value that many people's opinions about Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
And like that are not at the top level until I started talking to him a little bit, and I was like, dude, like a coach and an analyst that knows what he's doing and is motivated
Yeah.
is super helpful.
he was the first person for me too that I realized like he's actually doing a lot of work.
Yes.
You could
Yeah.
actually see the improvements in that initial Optic lineup. It's like they were already doing cool stuff like right away.
Well, I saw it with COG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
COG.
That
more
was
telling.
where I was like,
Especially after
this
he left.
improvement isn't coming organically. This
Yeah.
is coming from an outside source. And then I started seeing him speaking and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, there's something to this. And then as I did more research and I actually talked to the guy, I was like, okay, a coach and an analyst is like.
I made
that's-
videos
That could be so
on
important.
CLG Executes
So helpful.
because of him.
Yo, you don't know. I'm telling you, man.
On CLG Executes, I mean, that's quite
Yeah.
something. No
No,
offense.
I remember one game they played versus. I can't remember who it was, but it was on Mirage as their 1D and everyone. And they just played so well, man.
I actually got him, ironically, I was saying that at the major that Valens was the chat moderator because I'm a pet was a chat moderator. Of course, they're
Wait, were
both
you?
Asian.
Oh my God, I could not. You kept saying that,
Yeah, he kept
James.
saying
When
it,
I was
yeah.
watching, I forgot to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
I was like, are you trolling or is this an accident?
I tweeted him, called it racist.
Wait, were you just trolling about that, James?
No,
he's
I
being
just got him mixed up with I'm a pet.
Oh my
Can you believe
goodness,
it? Yeah.
that is hilarious.
I'm not racist,
So
honestly.
good.
I swear, I'm not
Both
racist.
No, just both.
It was just an honest mistake. They just both happen to be brown boys.
Also, the only reason you mixed them up.
Valens is like a different type of coach, in my opinion, though.
Yeah.
I think Valens. Well, I don't really know exactly how he is coaching, but Valens I like because he knows so many little things, and like he knows all these little. He's like the Bardolph. You know how you know all these ridiculous things to get a kill,
Yeah.
where you're like, Days, this would work against this guy. This going through this smoke, it's great. It works every time. I'm telling you. Like Valens has like a lot of those little plays that in the right hands can really win rounds.
The gimmicks
you know?
are super important
Yeah,
for
the
5v4.
gimmicks, exactly.
Yeah.
He knows a lot of those.
The only issue with gimmicks is just that
Oh, I mean,
you can only use them once.
yeah, exactly.
But-
Nature of a gimmick, yeah.
But you can use
That
them
could
once
be-
against every team.
Exactly. Yes. So in a match, you only need like a few.
Yeah. Like a little one-way smoke,
Mhm.
you know, a little this.
But I
It's
think
great.
what a powerful, like I see so many habits. I mean, because obviously I just watch like all the Counter-Strike, right? But I see so many habits
I
from
know.
players and teams, and it's just like you could so easily exploit
No.
this. And I'm like, I don't understand why no one's doing this.
Whenever you tell me those, I remember them, and I'm like, dude, Bardolph's right about all. I'm like, you'd actually, and I know you would tell the teams too. It doesn't matter. You wouldn't play favorites. If anybody from these teams like asked you, like, hey, we're playing against these guys, you'd be like, oh, I got all the.
Yeah,
I
of
know
course.
you would.
Yeah. Why not? I mean,
They should ask you. They really should.
I remember I think the most obvious one was old Inferno when Fox was on what's now FaZe. On the CT side, he would always go on the corner at like top banana.
Yeah.
But it was a position where you could nade him from the tree. You could double nade him from the tree every single round. And it was only done just as Inferno was going out. And I would say it on commentary because I just thought it was absurd. Because he would slaughter people from there. He would slaughter them.
Oh, no,
Sometimes
he had
nobody
matches where
grenade-
he
No one's
dominated.
nading him. No one ever nades him. It was mad.
That's a really standard nade now, though. Pretty much everyone does it.
Maybe there's more security with that little wall there. They feel like there is. I mean, but there was a whole arch there before. But anyway, 8 to 10. Focus on the game. See what's going down between these two teams. Again, a big focus on the A site from both these teams.
Oh, it's a game changer. They got that spam.
Oh,
my
Soak, you're a
God.
beauty, aren't you? You're a beauty. He's got to be careful with his positioning. He knows there's one more in the mid position, and now Stanislaw is alone, and he is on the other side of the map. He's got a long crawl to the A site, 1 versus 4.
Yeah, sorry about not talking about the game so much.
Optic have won both pistols. I think it was okay. I mean, if I thought it was bad, I would have, put it back on.
I know.
It's just good timing, man. It's just good timing. 35 seconds. This will be the first round won by NRG, should they be successful. 30 seconds, a lot of damage can be done in that time. No grenade for Stanislaw. No flash or anything, no smokes. So he just basically needs to win by elimination if he's going to do it. Trying to check every single angle, but not quite making it too far, but what could you expect? Loads of money though.
That keeps tripping me out. Every time the round's over, it just says 3,
Yes,
2, 1.
I know, and I
I'm trying to-
always
I'm
think,
like, holy
I'm like,
crap, they're so close to
Yeah.
timing out every single
no,
round.
it took me like 3 rounds to realize that was I'm like, man, they really,
It took me about 48. So I think you should show how much time is left in the round.
Yeah, we can probably change that.
yeah, I think it is better.
I'm sure we can.
Because who cares about that, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's consciously deliberate to be on there, so can talk to.
I think it's to show how much time they have to look for stuff.
No,
You
it
kind- you
is.
kind of like
It could be.
understand
It
that,
could
but-
be. Yeah, but it's counterintuitive, isn't it? So
Yeah, I mean, I'd
we need
rather
to-
know
Yeah.
how much time is left in the round. Look at config though.
Oh shoot.
What's really cool is
Okay,
like
never mind.
in the apps there's a blind spot where there's like blinds or a door or something. If you can get to that point undetected, it's a pretty good blind spot for CTs. So if you have an over-aggressive person who likes to jump on boxes, he'll just get ruined if you're in that position.
Are you guys the type of guy where if you play in like a 10-man or a pug, you have to play your spot, or do you guys just play whatever and fill?
I'll play anything.
Yeah.
I don't like to say at the beginning. I used to say like I'll play wherever, but that's like, you know, if I'm playing with morons.
Yeah.
But now I'll just like if I'm playing train, I'll always play IV. But it depends on the level. If you're playing with better players, then I'm not going to be too nice because there's no point not playing my position because I'm not going to play as well. So I'll try and play the position I want to play. But then if I can't play that, then you know whatever. So I'm not going to be like, oh, I want to play this, you know. But
Yeah.
I'll play anything because I think the only, I don't know, like have an idea of how to play every position. Some better than others, but in a pug, like whatever. But the only thing is like, you know, BM Mirage can be boring sometimes. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Small sites are sometimes boring. That's all.
They definitely can
CS
be.
is never boring for me.
Well,
I could play
if
B
no
all
one comes
day.
to your site, then it's
I don't
boring,
need.
right?
Well, it's not boring because you don't know if anyone's going to
Well,
come like
it
1
can be
second
very
later.
frustrating though.
I think I wouldn't find it frustrating at all. But I'm that kind of guy.
No, not because of that.
No, 'cause you have
but
to
when you play on
replay.
BM Mirage, it's like a lot of time you can't put your footprint on the game. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, so it
but
could be
I can accept that. It's the nature
Yeah.
of the position. So
No, you're right.
it's like for me, I think you'll be frustrated doing that if you're expecting more from the position that isn't reasonable for the position you're playing. But
I mean,
if
I
you
know what I'm getting into, but it's not like it.
yeah, it's just different types. I think what's frustrating about it is that like when people go A most of the time, the rounds where you lose, you kind of go into the rotation and you're always in a bad situation and you just get wrecked if you do go for it.
Or-
and then you have like
exactly.
crappy
But that's part of
stats
it.
or whatever. It is, but I mean,
or if you
that's-
save, then people are like baiter, and it's like what?
yeah, I
gotta
mean,
get
there's a little
one
bit of
or two
that, but.
kills.
That's the thing that would get to me of anything is what I'm trying to say basically. Look at all the smokes down on the mid area. What a weird scenario to fight in, but it's
Window,
working
2 cat
for
smokes
Optic.
and a connector smoke.
2 cat smokes normally means a fast cat push.
This is hard. Oh my god, he got out a little bit. Oh, that's gonna open it up.
Oh, he didn't see him through the
Gates
gap.
on. No, Gates on. I think he didn't expect him to push through, maybe.
Daps, man like Daps going on with the high flashbang.
Wow.
Pistol will be enough.
Okay.
Shazam just there.
Shazam's pistols are like one of the best pistols. They're,
I'm out there.
They're absolutely insane.
If he died, like there's a chance the bomb gets stuck, right? Because he was going through spawn
Yeah.
to mid.
USP round. Okay, this is the round where we can talk about stuff.
I like how Shazam, when he USPs, he'll just like, he won't play that game where you like strafe a lot. He'll just sit there and just game.
Yeah.
I appreciate that sometimes.
I think the best way to do it is to use your movement to him.
Keyboard, yeah.
But
I
it
love
really
keyboard.
takes a lot of practice.
Broken does that really well. He like doesn't move across there at all.
I think Mirage is my worst map on CT in every position.
Really.
I feel like it's my weakest. Like I don't necessarily. I mean, the games I play are BS anyway, like on Mirage. So, but I just don't like in every other map. I feel like I have a good frame of mind of what I want to do in most scenarios in the positions that I'm interested in, which will be at least 3 per map.
Like how to be impactful.
Yeah, or what to do if X happens or Y happens. But on Mirage, I mean, B is fairly straightforward. But like Cat.
I think B.
I think CPL once it gets smoked off if you're the AWPer, and A can prove difficult. So
It's very fun if you're like aggressively opping and you're hitting your shots, but it's like demoralizing if you're missing on CT side.
And things are very far away.
Like if you're Cirque and you're on CT side and you're hitting your shots and you just do the cat jump and then you get a kill and then you go up here and you go push the A ramp and you get like it's like a blast.
Gets stronger with
you
every
know?
kill.
Yes.
So you know, if I change my jump to mouse wheel,
Exactly.
then
What you
maybe
just did there.
I'd have more fun. All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Screw it. I'm gonna do it.
He just jumped to cat there and got a free kill because of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they still shouldn't be like. They know he's mid, right?
So again, there's a GoTV bug, which is why you can't see Shazam's weapon. But it's funny because I don't know if you can do it in CS, but in Quake, you can customize your HUD and everything so much. If you ever go to like a QuakeCon and walk around a tournament area, it's insane. You go from one setup to the other. One is high res, one is like the lowest amount of polygons you can imagine and crazy stuff. But you can opt to have your gun visible or have your gun invisible and just have your crosshair there.
Retaking mid late, 50 seconds out. One in power. I mean, they maintained some map control at least, so even though they lost the guy, they're still not in a bad position.
Nice
That's
shot though.
Yeah, that's tough.
If Stanislaw like wide swings, usually the T is very favored. But he kind of just jiggled.
Because they hold tight.
Well, usually people are just like sitting there, like, I mean, you just see the tip of their head, right? And if you wide swing out apartments there, you usually get the kill on that CT guy. But I mean, he was kind of like walking out, you know?
So he's really showing himself.
Yeah.
Oh, Breeze will be, sorry, Cirque will be the distraction for Daps to capitalize on that last kill there.
Let me ask you about this. I made a video called why wide peeking is bad. And I just said basically, just like logically, if you peek wide enough to see 2 people when you should peek 1, then you peek too wide. And you should spend less time on your screen moving so that you have more time to shoot. Because otherwise you're giving them more time to...
I'll watch that video.
Yeah, but it's more about when you are fighting one person and you know you're going to fight one person, making the shot as hard as possible, you know?
Yeah.
So like for instance, mid window, right, on CT side?
But, okay, so but if you know where they are, then should you wide peek if you know where to line it up?
I think it's good
Well,
grounding.
it depends. Like for mid window, for instance, on CT side Mirage, you'll see really good players, especially like with an op. They literally like, if they know you're in middle somewhere, right, and you're in the open, instead of crouch peeking, they will like literally like even with an op to like the middle of the window, and it's such a hard shot because you're just so used, you know, ready for them to do the other peek.
Yeah, that's true. I guess in an ideal world, the more time, if you spend more time on someone's screen, they should be able to hit you. But in reality, it can make you too hard to hit, even though they get the bullets out first.
I think it really just depends on the situation, you know.
I definitely know, and like what I talked about in the video is just this specific situation. But if someone's really close to a wall, you wide swing on them because they have to come out to be able to see you more. So it is definitely situational.
Let's have a look at this, guys. Fugly's taking the high grounds, which gives him vision of the bomb, but I mean, he needs to find a place, not a bomb. Shazam just had a jump peek to have a look. Fugly may have made some steps there, but wasn't quite seen, and Shazam gets taken down. Horrible timing for him. That game's got a lot to do. Both facing at the same time. Horrible position behind the bench. Is a wall-bangable structure as well, and that is 13 rounds for NRG. As you were.
Wait, so tell me the scenario, Loaders.
Oh, well, I like went out to long on Dust 2. It was like you as a CT coming along, and then I put like a bot in the doorway, and then a bot just outside. So like you peek and you could see 2 guys rushing out long basically. And then it's like, you know, if they're rushing long, you peek the door, you get the 1 kill. If you peek wide, you expose yourself to 2 people. You might get 1 kill, but you'll get traded for sure.
For sure. It's a crappy buy from Optic, but they're running out of rounds to lose. CZ needs to move in quickly. Config waiting for a flashbang, I think. And again, he's looking for the close quarters engagement, but he's going back towards the choke point, and then forwards again is Stanislaw going, but they haven't really taken too much ground towards CT. They're all falling back to the choke point, but they're going for the rotation. They've gone for the inverse plant, so there's 1 AK heading that way, and there's a flank coming in from the CTs as well. That's been spotted now, and there is Daps who can keep an eye on things in the middle area, moving towards Connector, losing to a Tech 9. Don't see that very often. 3 CTs coming from CT, and they've got a smoke grenade, so it's been taken down. Now, he was a smoker, and he did drop it on the bomb itself, but will they have the personnel? Running out of bullets, running out of personnel, and down goes another one. Ethan gets peppered as well, so that works out for Optic. I thought they were doomed.
Yeah, I mean, a Breeze shouldn't have flanked there. So all you have to do is make sure they're not flanking. It's 4v5. I'm pretty sure they still have like good nades, right? I don't think you need to flank. You just need to have somebody sitting like Connector or Cat watching the flank essentially, you know? And then coming really late.
Really late, yeah.
Yeah. And then just retaking together.
Yeah, the bomb was planted for him too.
Because think about it, if Breeze is like chilling like connector or something like that, that Tech Niner isn't able to do that.
They'll look for him really late.
Yeah, and it's really, really easy to kill that flanker that Gade was doing if you're just very ready for it and you have like an assigned person on it, you know? Because he has to be holding W at multiple times, like literally just holding W. That's something Cold Zero is like the best at.
Like on that round, I mean, the retake was at a certain point pretty unwinnable, and then they, I don't know.
Oh, you animal.
Wow.
Circus so good to watch.
They committed pretty hard. They bought up, and what's the? Can you show, what's the rounds? How many rounds they bought? They got reset. So then they're gonna buy on 14, but they're still not gonna have great money if they bought down to 0 here in 2 rounds, right? They definitely won't be able to afford an op again, right? I think. But they might win this. Ouch.
Hello. 4 and 4. 3 players for Optic on the ramp. Cirque waits for them. I'm curious to know what res Cirque uses now, especially because he's younger.
It's native, dude. He's young. He's younger.
No, but there's a lot of really good players who are young don't use native.
Yeah, but most of the players who do use native are young, I would say. I think, or the guys who started in CS:GO, most likely.
As an author, I think he's not always native, but we'll find out. They're charging into the site. Optic 3 versus 2. Breeze making his way towards connector. In connector now. Bugly trying to run distraction, and he stops the plant. 27 seconds. He's got a gap now. There are big problems for Optic, and they are not going to expect the AWP. I leave Shazam. 20 seconds. 1 versus 2. Misses the jump, and Breeze is just hiding. Does he go for a wallbang? Seems he has an idea that somebody's there.
Some time to do this.
He knows there's 2 players, but he won't go deep enough, and that will cost him. Wallbang. He will tag Breeze. Fugly's out there in the open. The time is up, and down he goes.
That's just a really amazing spray and just through the smoke both times when he's on the box and when he fell off. Like usually you see people do damage here, but to get the bomb down just completely changes the round. It takes so much effort
he
to
won
have
the round
people
by himself,
covered
pretty much.
Yeah, and then get the op.
Yeah, in-game resolution, he uses 1024768 black bars.
Yeah, I'm saying there's very few players play native. So the only, I'd say like, most of the people who are going to play pro on native are guys who started on native and didn't change.
Yeah. See, I started on 1024768, obviously.
I started this game on native, and I thought it was the best res, but then when the game first came out and I was going to LANs, I was getting like
no frames.
Yeah, so I was like, screw this.
Yeah, but I played on a Dell XPS laptop for a few years, but I don't even remember what the res was on that bloody thing. So I could probably find out actually. I'm sure it was low because yeah.
What?
Anyway,
I have a question. Why are people smoking window again? Right out of spawn? Because for a while people didn't smoke window to spawn because you just smoke top mid and then you're covered for even more than just window.
Yeah.
But now there's a lot of it.
Yeah, there is. I mean, a lot of people are smoking window and top mid.
Yeah.
Just make it more difficult on the opera, I guess. It does change things if you don't have to worry about window. You know? It really does.
do you guys use jump throws?
Yeah.
2 keys?
Sorry?
Do you use 2 keys to do
Or
it,
the
or like
alias.
just the jump script thing?
A script.
Remember when that whole thing was banned? And like, you can do the same thing with 2 keys and it works every time.
Yeah, you could literally, like, one of my subs made a video where you just put a straw on 2 keys and just taped it.
Really?
It's just like, it's dumb. I mean, you can't ban a macro. It's in the game. Like,
Yeah.
you can't even detect it.
Yeah, you can't police things like that.
Yeah.
That's why we never did anything about it, because it just didn't seem sensible. Bombs down in the sandwich position now. Config and Gade, 2 versus 3. Fugly's been forced away, but he's made the right decision, gone the right way. Config somehow in CPL. And now it's Config alone with the AWP. Misses a shot on Cirque, and you won't get many more options to take him down. Opportunities, rather.
Wait, so you call jungle CPL?
No, the window.
Ladder room.
The window.
Wait. call window CPL?
Yeah.
It should be ladder room CPL.
I think in Europe it's called CPL by most people. Hold on now.
All my European friends say sniper's nest.
Sniper's nest. You got some librarian level European friends. I don't think it. I think people call it super window. I mean, I listen going absolutely crazy. Stanislaw just realizing that maybe that's not the most ideal situation. Very rarely do you see a Tech 9 these days. I've tried to experiment with it in its current iteration, but I haven't had all the success in the world. Shazam with a deagle there. Invisible deagle, but still no
That's
joy.
what they needed to do the round that they lost when Breeze was flanking. Just gotta hold, wait for their smokes, and then they'll make a move. And you could kill them.
It's kind
And
of
if they don't, you just use your nades.
kind of a tragic loss there for Optic. I think there was that force-up round that NRG pulled off, and if they didn't win that round, it would have been 14-14. But instead, they win that too.
Black. Sign of my gap.
But I would be really happy though if I was Optic and I had my new player who was like untested, Gade, just play really well, even if everyone else is still learning how the system works. I just feel very good about the fact that this our one guy we weren't sure about is killing it. And he had a fantastic game overall.
This round was bad. Optic should have had a lot more CT side rounds though.
Yeah.
Always nice to see Cirque on the server.
What did first half end up?
5 rounds?
Yeah, they lost they won pistol, right? And won 5?
I don't remember now. But 16-12, that's the first map out, in the bag. Out of the bag, in the bag, in the bag. It's inside the bag.
Yeah, they won first
for NRG. And the next map's going to be Overpass. Between these two teams, so those are the statistics. Gade top frag in there with 26, and someone else was as well. But there we go. We've got the bulb in the amp. Fantastic. So after the break, we're going to be with Overpass. That's going to be the last map of the day. So quick break, and we will see you back here for Overpass.